Welcome to Boss Talk, episode 2. Thanks for tapping in. Today, in this video, I'm going to talk about how I turned 1K into 60K off the Detroit land bank and real estate in general. Man, it was a long journey. Got the house for $1,000 off of buildingdetroit.org. They start bids at $1,000. It can go up by increments, $1,100, $1,200, etc. But I was lucky enough to get my home at $1,000, and I spent about $350 on closing costs. That brought my total to $1,350 for a brand new house. Well, not a brand new house, but a house that needed some work. It wasn't really that bad. It has some challenges, but it wasn't like really bad in comparison to the other houses. So got the house, $1,350, closing costs, signed the papers, everything was mine until I finished the project. It was the land bank. So it was like the land bank had 50%, I had 50% until I finished the renovations. So when you do the program with the land bank, you gotta go to the website, buy the house, do the closing. They'll assign you a specialist. Specialist is the person that you communicate with on a day-to-day. So like when you gotta send in the pictures, updates of the house, things of that nature, you communicate with them via email. So once you send the pictures every 30 days, all that stuff, you'll be good. So process one, first got the house, demoed it out. I had them come do a rough inspection, like a preliminary inspection, and they pretty much tell you exactly what you need. So they give you a checklist. So for the electrical, plumbing, mechanical, that's like your furnace and stuff like that. So with the electrical, took all the old wiring out, put all new wiring in. Me and my homeboy pulled the permits. It cost us about $300-$400. It really goes off how many sockets and plugs and stuff that you got in your house, and that determines the price of the permit. And then you got your plumbing, the same thing, how many bathrooms you got, how many showers, so that determines the price on that. We pulled that one as well. So you need 2 out of 3 to pass the land bank's expectations. They don't require you to get all 3 of them. So I got the water and I got the electrical, and they had the rough inspection, and I passed that. And then we did implement all the new stuff, and then they came through and did another inspection as well. And then same thing with the plumbing, took all the old pipes out, put all new pipes in. I ran into a detour towards the end because we had leaks in the pipes. So we had to take all the old pipes out and buy PEX. So that was kind of like a negative in that process. As far as that, cost me a couple dollars extra, probably about $400 or $500 extra. I had to get another plumbing guy to come fix it. Other than that, got the hot water tank put in the first time. They broke in and took it, and that set me back. They broke in and took the hot water tank and the furnace at the same time. As soon as we put it in that night, they took it. So neighbors, they work watching you. They watch your every move. You might think everything's sweet, but it's not. So don't trust nobody. We didn't have any problems for the first 6 months. Nothing happened. So we thinking like, hey, everything good. We broke bread with the neighbors, blah, blah, blah. They came in and wiped us out. So they broke in the house like 2 or 3 times over the period that we had the house. And then after that, man, we got an alarm system. They broke in again, took the alarm off the wall, broke it, had to pay for it, for them to come replace it. So it was just a lot of deductions, man, like unnecessary stuff. My homeboy caught a gun charge down there, walking to the store. Police just pulled up on him, searched him. He had a gun that wasn't, registered on him, and he had to go do probation and all that. So that set us back because he was the main person doing all the work. So man, the journey was crazy. But back to the house. Structure was cool. Roof was good. It was a tree that was pressing against the foundation of the house, causing a little crack. We had to get the tree cut because it could have did some severe damage with that root still pressing against it. So we got that knocked down. That was $1,400. Siding was like $1,200. Windows was like $1,600 for like 10 windows. Vanities and all that stuff, Home Depot, $150. Mirrors about $20. All the faucets and stuff like that, $15, $20. The light fixtures, $15, $20. The flooring, We got the vinyl floor rollout. That was about 45. What else we got? Light bulbs, smoke detectors, plugs, stuff of that nature. That's all cheap stuff. So it really didn't cost us a lot when it comes to that. So didn't spend any money on that for real. I spent 20,000 total. That was over a year span, and that's what people kind of get intimidated with this real estate stuff. They think that $20,000, they think you're doing it at one time, and you're not. It took us a year. It was supposed to take us 6 to 9 months. It took us a year. Just barring COVID, the weather. We had one car. I was picking my partner up. We was going down there back and forth. Sometimes he couldn't get down there. Sometimes I couldn't make it. Sometimes we under the weather. We cut hair too, so we was going at 8 in the morning and working till 12, and then coming to the shop from 1 to 5. So we was really just grinding 5 days out the week. We barely worked on the weekends unless it was just some stuff that we needed to do, past inspections and stuff like that. So that whole process, man, was like now I look back at it, it was crazy. Like we really did it, so something to be proud about, what I'm saying? Man, I got some stuff here wrote down, so it's kind of like the step-by-step. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll just tell you, buildingdetroit.org. Find a house, narrow it down to like 3 houses that you like. Go see them all, go see the neighborhood before you buy. And then once you find a house that you like, bid on it. Start at $1,000. If nobody else bid on it with you, you will win the house for $1,000. They'll take the money out your card, take it off your card when you win. So if you bid and you lose, they won't take no money. But if you win, that's when they will take the money. You close on it. That's when you go to the title company and you just sign your paperwork, basically putting your name on the deed, 50%. 6 to 9 months to rehab it. You got to get your permits. Rehabbing it, you got to do your demo, you got to get your garbage can. That costs about $400 or $500. So you want to wait till you get everything cleaned out of the house, because what you would do, you'll get everything filled up in a dumpster, and then you figure out you want to knock down something else. So now you got to pay for another dumpster. So you just got to be patient, back everything up, put it on the curb. Make sure that you got everything out the house before you get a dumpster. So you can just throw it in there. You don't got to waste no money. We wasted like $1,000 on dumpsters. Demo it, replace the pipes, replace electricity. I did electrical, and we didn't do gas, but at the end we ended up doing gas and electrical too. So did that, replaced the pipes, electric work, got the rough inspection, we fixed everything, we updated everything. At the end, once everything looks like it's move-in ready, you'll call for a final inspection. Final inspection, they'll come through, make sure all your light switches on, like everything is covered up, everything's painted, everything looks good. It's the final thing. So they'll give you a certificate, not a certificate, a little sticker, says approved, and you'll be good with that. In order to get the land bank off the deed, you gotta meet all the requirements that they ask. So you gotta keep sending them pictures. You gotta make sure the house is secured. You gotta make sure that all your water is running. You gotta make sure you got your rough inspection, your final inspection. All that stuff gotta be A1. So you gotta send everything in every 30 days. In order to get your name off the deed at the very end. They'll send you a certificate of completion at the end once you get everything done. So once you close, it's yours 100%. Then you find you a realtor. They'll pretty much do a walkthrough. They'll pay somebody to come take pictures for you. They'll have open houses. They'll come through, do walkthroughs, people that want to buy or are interested in the house. You might have some stuff that you might have to fix. With this house, it was a lot of stuff that we had to fix. We thought it was done, but when you go back and look at it, like, dang, you start noticing all this stuff that you want to fix. And so a person came through, told us everything they needed fixed, and they didn't even buy the house. Like, we just got everything fixed, thinking they were going to buy it, and then they didn't. But it was cool because we needed it fixed anyway. So luckily, about a week later, the house was on the market for like 2 weeks, and then it was a buyer already set up. So it took us like a month and a half, 2 months to close and sign the paperwork and all that. So if you have a private buyer, cash buyer is easier. It's an easy transaction, write up a contract, boom. But if you got a bank involved and it's like a first-time homeowner, it kind of get tricky. So they'll send an appraiser out. They'll appraise the house for whatever you're selling it for. They make sure it's worth that. They'll send a home inspector out. They'll make sure that everything's cool. You pass that. They'll run the numbers through the bank, The underwriting department do what they do. The buyer got to make sure that they working because they pretty much getting a mortgage. So they want to make sure they credit good, they working, they got a down payment, XYZ. So they'll take out their loan and we'll go from there. So they realtors communicate with my realtor and my realtor's telling me XYZ. They realtor telling them XYZ and we kind of like, they middleman it. So and they get 1 to 6% of the sale. My realtor was cool. He looked out. I think he only got 3. So, but he blessed me. So I appreciate him. They do all that. The buyer got the appraisal, got your inspection. Then you get a closing date at the end. So once you get your closing date, we just had ours. They moved it. It was November the 2nd. So I'm geeked up. November, I think it was like October 31st, something like that. I'm going out of town. Somebody break in my house. I'm all the way down south. Somebody break in right before closing. So I'm panicking, trying to get stuff fixed. Like, broke a window. I'm hoping they ain't take nothing. I got to scramble, get stuff in. We had a furnace in the house. The furnace was too old. They did an inspection. They found that the furnace had like a birth certificate in it. It told you how old it was. It was 23 years old. So I had to replace that furnace because I bought it used. And, somebody buying the house, they want to make sure they got the top of the line stuff. So I had to replace that. We had to replace the window that was broken. They didn't even take nothing. They just was looking in there and they hit the basement window to make sure that the furnace and stuff was in there. So it's about that time of the year. It's getting cold. They start doing whatever to get money. So if you're going into the real estate, just know that there's a chance that somebody will break in there or try to. So you got to get you a good alarm system. In Detroit specifically, there is police response time not that fast. So sometimes they might just break it just to see how fast everybody gonna respond. And then they'll come back a couple of days later and get it. So dirty game, but it is what it is. It's a risk. You get in the house for $1,000, you should know like it's got to be some type of catch-22 with it. But as far as the whole process, land bank was cool, no issues. Like I said, it's supposed to take us 6 to 9 months. It took us the under a year. They were very lenient with us. They didn't really complain about anything. They was understanding. We got it done. We walked it down. We finally got it complete, so I can't complain. Finally got our closing date. They ended up moving it because of the bank. One of the loan officers at the bank quit or whatever. The loan got lost in the sauce. We had to get all that stuff restarted. Once he got the paperwork, they had to wait another 3 days. That pushed the closing date to like 10th. So I'm just waiting patiently. I knew how much I was getting and all that stuff. So just waiting until that day. And it finally came. So that was a blessing. The negatives, I would say, break-ins, the carrying costs. When you got your power on and your water on, you got to pay the monthlies on it. You got to pay your DTE. You got to pay your consumers every month. The location is a negative. Sometimes it's a bad neighborhood. Sometimes it's an abandoned house. I had an abandoned house on my left, and I had a good house on the right. Good neighbor on the right. She looked out. She cut the grass for me when I wasn't around. XYZ. So that was cool. You still got to keep the maintenance of the house looking good. You got to make sure everything, like the grass is cut. Check the mail. Make sure you take out the garbage, things of that nature, just to show that you are, that's your house, that you there. If you leave it there, squatters will come in. So you want to make sure that you constantly updating it or having somebody watch it or whatever the case may be. COVID-19 slowed us up. We went like 2 or 3 months without no work. I had to hire other people because my homeboy was going through what he was going through at home. So I had to get it done. So, dug in and spent a couple extra dollars. I was over budget, about $10,000 total. Just off miscellaneous things, just a lot of stuff, man. Like, it was crazy. But you could do a house with $15,000 for sure. If you budget everything right, you sit down, you know what color you want to do everything, you can do it in for sure $15,000. If you buy the house for one. So if you buy the house for one, you do your closing costs, that's like 13, and you put 15 extra into that. If you're doing the work yourself or somebody that can do it for a good price. But if you got licensed contractors, you probably gonna come out of like 20, 25 for sure. But you gotta realize that it's over time. You gotta pay them half up front, pay for your materials, and you pay them at the end. So you gotta save your money, make sure you're being smart, and if that's what you want to do. And that's what will work for me. Probably $400 or $500 a week I was putting towards it over a year span, and then I walked it down. So boom. Lazy contractors too. You might hire some people, and then they might say they're gonna do this and have it done by a certain day, and then they're not even working. They got other projects going on. So get you a contractor that's free and that's focused on you and yours and your projects, and they can get it done quick. Average time I would say three months 4 months to try to get your house done ASAP, so you can so you can keep it going. 3 to 4 months. So, damn, that was all my land bank experience stuff. We finally got to the end here. I got my check. I think my check stub here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but whatever. Let me see if we did. Yeah, the game here, 52. So it's real. It shows my stub here. I already cashed the check already. So, man, bought the house for $1,000, sold it for $60, paid everybody, walked away with $52. I used my credit card. It was $5,000 on that. I used a Bank of America business card, $5,000 on that. I walked in, showed them my tax ID number, showed them what I was trying to do, and I asked for $8. They ended up giving me $5, so I used that. That was $10 right there. I paid for the house cash. That $1,300 was out of my pocket. Then I got the additional $10 from them, from the banks, and then I put another $10, $15 in over time. So, it's really not that hard. Anybody can go get a business account going or get some business credit. Make sure that your personal credit is good. You got your tax ID number. You got your articles of organization, and you got a regular state ID. Go to the bank, get it going. Spend $100 to get an account, and then you good to go. So, not rocket science, man. Legit easy money. It's a lot of work. I won't say it's easy. It's a lot of work, but you just got to be disciplined for real. So if you got some money sitting around, and your cousin got some money, or whatever the case may be, y'all can come together, come up with a plan, and do it. Don't be scared. Chances make champions. Somebody came into the shop, told me about it. I hollered at my homeboy about it, and probably about 2 months later, we bought a house. So jumped off the porch. The reward was great. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm ready to get it going again. So that was my boss talk for today. Episode 2. Tap in, boss-talk.com. Add us on IG, boss1 talk. And again, that's boss1 talk on IG. Link will probably be below. Subscribe. We're going to have more content every week. Looking forward to having you guys on a journey with me, and we're going to keep being bosses, man. We're going to boss up every day, man. Every month, every week, every year, we're going to keep bossing up. This is just one of many. We're going to keep it going. So next project, I learned a lot from this one. I know the do's and don'ts. Make sure y'all get the book, Power Moves Only. That goes into depth as far as about real estate, wholesaling, bird method, flipping, rehabbing, my land bank experience, step by step. So tap in on that. That's $25 on boss-talk.com. Get you some merch. Maybe you're just trying to create a platform where you can come tap in and hear some boss motivational talk, and maybe it'll help you in your journey. So appreciate you guys tapping in, subscribe. Boss Talk.